Chosen one, something has already begun, and you need to understand it clearly. You're about to watch someone sign their own death certificate. Spiritually, socially, energetically, the pen is already moving, the ending is already being written, and the wildest part, they still believe the downfall they scripted was meant for you. Now the consequences they created are circling back fast, and you'll remain untouched, watching someone unravel under the weight of their own actions. The ink is wet, chosen one, and they wrote the ending themselves. Here's where you start to see how someone can be their own worst enemy, because this person was actually given a way out. An escape route was handed over on a silver platter, and it got thrown in the trash. Divine forces looked at what was done to you and made a choice. Forgiveness, complete forgiveness. Not because it was asked for, not because it was earned, not because it was deserved, just pure grace. Everything should have been finished right there. Immediate consequences should have been faced. But instead, mercy said not yet. That forgiveness was $1 million lottery ticket. That grace was a get-out-of-jail-free card. That mercy was a golden opportunity to walk away clean and start fresh. All that needed to happen was taking it and disappearing. All that was required was accepting it and moving on. All that was necessary was saying thank you to the universe and never looking back. But here's what happened instead. In that exact same moment, forgiveness was being extended. You were being blessed. While mercy was being poured out on your attacker, favor was being poured out on you. While a slate was being wiped clean for someone else, doors were being opened for you that don't open for just anybody. And nobody told your enemy. It was happening behind closed doors. Secret moves were being made. Divine strategy was being executed. You weren't announcing it. You weren't posting about it. You weren't letting anybody know. You were just receiving, just accepting, just saying yes to what was being offered while someone else thought you were somewhere broken. Remember that detail. It's going to matter in a minute, because what couldn't be seen coming, what couldn't have been predicted, what's about to blow this whole thing wide open, is the moment eyes finally lay on you again. That moment is going to change everything. That moment is going to trigger a chain reaction that can't be stopped. That moment is going to be the beginning of an ending. Here it comes. This is the moment I've been building to. This is where everything flips. This is where you see the exact second someone goes from forgiven to finished. Pay attention, because this is important. This is the hinge point. This is where the whole story pivots. You get seen. Maybe it's at an event. Maybe it's online. Maybe someone shows a picture. Doesn't matter how. What matters is what gets seen. What matters is the realization that hits like a freight train. What matters is the moment an entire worldview explodes. You don't look broken. You don't look defeated. You don't look anything like what was expected. You look like money. You look like success. You look like someone who's been winning while others thought you were losing. There's a glow on you, a confidence, an energy that screams, I'm doing better than okay. There's something about you that makes it obvious. Divine hands have been all over your life. New clothes, new opportunities, new connections, new everything. You're not just surviving, you're thriving in ways that make it undeniable. This isn't normal. This isn't luck. This isn't just hard work. This is supernatural favor, doing what supernatural favor does. This is divine blessing on full display. This is heaven showing off through you. And someone is standing there looking at you with mouth open, with mind racing, with heart dropping into stomach, because all this time was spent convinced you were down. People were told you were struggling. Private celebrations happened over what was thought to be your destruction. A whole sense of peace was built on the belief that even though forgiveness was received, at least you got destroyed. But you didn't get destroyed. You got promoted. You didn't fall. You rose. You didn't break. You evolved. And seeing that with physical eyes triggers something that can't be untriggered. Something breaks. Something snaps. Something shifts in the mind that sets everything else in motion. Watch what happens next. Watch how someone who was just given grace decides to throw it all away. Watch how forgiveness turns into foolishness when you being blessed too can't be accepted. This is where the writing starts. This is where the pen hits the paper. This is where the signature begins. Now watch how someone talks themselves into destruction. Watch how the mind works when jealousy takes over. Watch how logic gets twisted when someone can't accept reality. This is fascinating. This is revealing. This is exactly how people self-destruct. Someone is standing there looking at you, blessed, and the brain is doing gymnastics trying to make sense of it. How can you be winning when everything was done to make sure you lost? How can you be thriving when so much energy was spent trying to destroy you? How can you be elevated when so much work went into keeping you down? Then an answer gets landed on. It's the wrong answer. It's a dangerous answer. It's an answer that's going to cost everything. But in jealousy and bitterness and pride, it makes perfect sense. The thought process goes like this. If forgiveness came the first time, forgiveness can come again. If grace covered once, grace will cover twice. If mercy gave a pass before, mercy will give another pass now. If this resonates with your inner knowing, hype this video to help fellow chosen ones find their way here. This is the moment. This is the decision. This is the choice that changes everything. Walking away could happen. Forgiveness could be taken and disappeared with. You being blessed could be accepted, while focus shifts to building another life. But that's not what gets chosen. That's not what pride allows. That's not what jealousy permits. Instead, doubling down happens. Trying again gets decided. The thinking goes, if just going harder this time happens, if just digging deeper this time occurs, if just using more power this time takes place, then maybe it'll work. Maybe you'll finally fall. Maybe what was wanted to be seen all along will finally get seen. And this lesson is about to get learned the hard way. Discovery is about to happen, that divine patience has limits. Finding out is about to occur, that mercy runs out when you keep abusing it. Experience is about to teach what happens when you mistake grace for weakness. What gets done next crosses a line. What gets planned right now opens a door that shouldn't be opened. What gets reached for is going to reach back, and when it does, there's no coming back from it. There's no undoing it. There's no escape from it. This is where the story gets dark. This is where you see how far someone will go when consumed by jealousy. This is where desperation makes someone do something that can never be taken back. Because what's about to happen isn't just another attack. What's being planned isn't just another scheme. What's being reached for isn't just another trick. Contact gets made with entities. Forces that don't belong in this realm get reached out to. Work begins with darkness, because the light already said no. Doors get opened to dimensions that aren't understood. Deals get made with things that are thought to be controllable but absolutely cannot be controlled. Lines get crossed that once crossed change everything. This wasn't the first choice. This was the last resort. This was the nuclear option. This was what got saved for when everything else failed. And everything else did fail. You're still standing. You're still blessed. You're still shining. So the decision gets made. Going all in happens. Everything gets risked. No care exists about what it costs. The only desire is seeing you down. When darkness gets invited into life to hurt someone else, darkness doesn't care about the target. Darkness cares about consumption. Darkness cares about destruction. Darkness cares about feeding. And it will feed on whoever's closest, which is the one who invited it. The thought exists that power is being gained. The belief exists that an advantage is being gotten. The assumption exists that leveling up is happening in the ability to attack you, but what's really happening is opening up to being devoured. What's really occurring is giving permission for forces to enter life that will destroy everything. What's really taking place is signing that certificate in blood now, not just ink. And you don't even feel it. You don't even know it's happening. You're going about your day. You're receiving your blessings. You're walking in your purpose. You're living your life because you're protected by something that can't be touched. You're covered by something darkness can't penetrate. You're sealed by something forces can't break. So what happens when someone attacks protection that can't be broken? What occurs when someone curses a blessing that can't be touched? What unfolds when someone fights against a power that isn't understood? Everything reverses, everything returns, everything backfires, and the attacker becomes the victim of the attack. When someone projects negativity onto you with evil intent, when curses get spoken over you with malicious purpose, when destruction gets visualized for you with hateful desire, it doesn't just dissipate, it doesn't just disappear, it activates something. Everything that was wanted for you becomes reality for the one who wanted it instead. Every image that was created of your suffering becomes a mirror of actual suffering for your enemy. Every story that was told about your failure becomes the script for another person's failure. You were thought to be crying, people were told you were isolated, stories were spread about you being sad and defeated and broken. That narrative needed to be true, that image got fed on, energy got gained from believing you were down and out. But the whole time, the future was being described for someone else, a prophecy was being spoken for another person, a destiny was being created for the one doing the attacking. Now sitting happens in exactly what was tried to be put on you. Sadness, isolation, defeat, crisis, backstabbing by people who were trusted, betrayal by circumstances that were thought to be controlled, breaking by events that weren't seen coming. That's not coincidence, that's spiritual law in operation, that's divine justice in motion, that's universal order being restored. When you come against someone who's walking in purpose with evil intent, you don't damage your target, you damage yourself. When you curse someone who's covered by divine favor, you don't curse the intended person, you curse yourself. And experiencing is happening now, living is happening now, feeling is happening now. Everything that was wanted to be seen happen to you is happening to someone else, and it's worse because knowledge exists. Knowledge exists that this got done by their own self. Knowledge exists that their own mouth spoke it. Knowledge exists that their own hands worked it. Knowledge exists that their own mind visualized it. No one else can be blamed. External circumstances can't be pointed to. This reality got created for self by trying to create it for you. And the irony is devastating. Looking at you thriving is happening while someone else is barely surviving. Watching you elevated is happening while someone else is falling. Seeing you blessed is happening while someone else is cursed. And it still can't be stopped. Walking away still can't happen. Acceptance still can't occur. That's what's about to take everything all the way out. While plotting against you stays busy, while bringing you down stays consuming, while stopping your progress stays obsessive, something is happening that can't be seen. Poison is being drunk and you're expected to die. Toxins are being swallowed and you're supposed to get sick. Darkness is being ingested and your collapse is being anticipated. Every ritual that gets performed against you is a ritual performed on self. Every curse that gets spoken over you is a curse being spoken into another person's atmosphere. Every negative visualization that gets created for you is a negative reality that gets manifested for someone else. Because spiritual laws don't work the way people think. Spiritual laws don't bend for human intention when that intention violates divine order. Have you ever watched someone self-destruct and wondered why what's being done can't be seen? Have you ever witnessed someone making terrible decisions and asked yourself how the pattern doesn't get recognized? This is how. This is exactly how. Focus stays so fixed on your destruction that blindness exists to another person's destruction. Consumption stays so heavy with your downfall that not seeing happens about who's actually falling. Obsession stays so strong with watching you fail that not noticing happens about who's actually failing. Every single thing that's being done to try to stop you is actually fuel for your acceleration. Every attack is adding to your testimony. Every scheme is building your story. Every curse is preparing your platform. Because when you come out the other side of this, when you're standing in the fullness of everything that's been prepared for you, when you're walking in the complete manifestation of your purpose, people are going to ask questions. How did you make it through? How did you survive? How did you overcome? And your answer is going to be clear. You didn't do it alone. You were covered. You were protected. You were backed by something attackers couldn't fight. That story is being written right now. That testimony is being crafted in this very moment. That platform is being built through everything that's being tried to tear you down. So while stopping you is thought to be happening, you're actually being set up. While blocking you is believed to be occurring, you're actually being positioned. While cursing you is assumed to be taking place, you're actually being catapulted. The certificate being signed isn't just an ending for someone else, it's your beginning. It's not just judgment for another person, it's your launch. It's not just consequence for your enemy, it's your confirmation. You need to see this clearly because it changes everything about how you move forward. You're not a victim waiting for rescue, you're a weapon being sharpened. You're not a target being hit, you're a diamond being cut. You're not prey being hunted, you're a champion being prepared. And every single attack that gets launched is just another round of training that's making you more dangerous, more powerful, more unstoppable than before. Your success story is being written with someone else's failure. Your platform is being built with another person's collapse. Your promotion papers are being signed with the same pen that's signing a death certificate. Someone has been in your space, in your energy, in your flow, not physically necessarily, but spiritually, energetically. Access has been had to places where access shouldn't exist. Reaching has been happening into your pot, that's the way to say it. Reaching has occurred into blessings that don't belong to another person. Tapping has happened into favor that wasn't meant for someone else. Trying has taken place to rewrote provision that was headed your direction. You were seen as a resource to drain rather than a person to respect. Your blessings were viewed as something that could be stolen rather than something that should be celebrated. And for a season, it looked like getting away with it was happening. For a time, it seemed like just keep taking could continue. For a moment, it appeared like no consequences would exist for the theft. But that season is ending. That time is up. That moment is passing. Because what doesn't get understood is that when you steal from someone who's covered by divine protection, you're not just stealing from a person, you're stealing from the source that's blessing them. Think about it like this. Someone breaking into a house to steal. Looking for valuables is happening. Grabbing what can be grabbed is occurring. The thought exists that stealing from the homeowner is what's happening. But what doesn't get known is the homeowner's parent is a judge. The homeowner's sibling is a prosecutor. The homeowner's cousin is a detective. So it's not just the homeowner who got stolen from. It's an entire system of justice that now has opposition placed against it. That's what happened when coming after you occurred. The thought existed that just attacking you was happening. The thought existed that just stealing from you was taking place. The thought existed that just messing with you was occurring. But actually what happened was putting self at odds with every force that protects you, every power that covers you, every presence that backs you up. And now all of those forces are responding, all of those powers are activating, all of those presences are moving. The theft is being exposed, the stealing is being revealed, the draining is being brought to light, and exposure is the first step toward justice. Revelation is the beginning of restoration. Light shining on darkness is always the precursor to darkness being eliminated. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. Rick and Replacement, the beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired, while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your destiny engine for $1 today and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. You're about to get back everything that got taken, and you're about to get it back with interest, with multiplication, with increase, because that's how divine justice works. That's how spiritual laws operate. That's how universal order functions. What got stolen in secret will be returned in public. What got taken in darkness will be restored in light. What got drained through deception will be replenished through divine intervention. But for the one who took, payment is about to happen. For what got taken, answering is about to occur for what got stolen. Facing consequences is about to begin for the theft that was thought to be hidden. Because nothing is hidden from the eyes that matter, nothing is secret from the presence that sees all, nothing is concealed from the power that knows everything. Every time you get seen, every time about you gets heard, every time your name comes up, confrontation happens with a mirror, not a mirror that shows a face, a mirror that shows failure, a mirror that reflects lack, a mirror that reveals emptiness. You've become the evidence of everything someone else is not. You've become the proof of everything that failed to get achieved by another person. You've become the living demonstration of everything that was tried to be stopped but couldn't be. And escaping can't happen. Avoiding can't occur. Running can't take place, because you're not chasing anyone. You're just existing. You're just being. You're just living your life. And your very existence is a constant reminder of defeat. You were wanted to be beneath so feeling above could happen. You were needed to be behind so feeling ahead could occur. You were required to be less so feeling like more could exist. But you're not beneath, you're not beneath, you're not behind, you're not less, you're elevated, you're advancing, you're increasing. And that reality is a mirror that has to get looked at every single day. This mirror is part of how that death certificate manifests. This reflection is part of how the signature activates. This confrontation with reality is part of how divine justice executes what got signed. Because sometimes judgment isn't about dramatic events. Sometimes consequence is simply being forced to watch everything that was tried to be stopped flourishing without the person who tried to stop it. Sometimes the sentence is having to witness the very blessing that was tried to be stolen, blessing someone else abundantly. This is what pushed everything over the edge. This is what made signing that certificate happen with such desperation that reading what was being signed didn't even occur. You look dignified. That word keeps coming up because it's the exact opposite of what someone tried to make you look like. Humiliation was wanted for you. Embarrassment was wanted for you. Looking broken and defeated and desperate was wanted for you. Stripping every ounce of self-respect from you was wanted. Robbing you of the ability to hold your head high was wanted. But dignity isn't something someone can take from you. Dignity is something you carry from the inside out. Dignity is rooted in knowing who you are regardless of what anyone says about you. Dignity is anchored in understanding your worth even when others try to devalue you, and you never lost it, even in the hardest moments, even when the attacks were the strongest, even when it felt like everything was falling apart. Your dignity remained intact. Actually, it didn't just remain intact, it got stronger, it got deeper, it became more unshakable than before, because you discovered something about yourself through this attack. You discovered that your sense of self-worth isn't dependent on approval from others. Your value isn't determined by another person's opinion. Your identity isn't shaped by projection from someone else. You found out that you can stand alone and still stand tall. You learned that you can be opposed and still be confident. You realized that you can be attacked and still be assured. That's the dignity being seen now. That's the self-possession being encountered. That's the self-assurance being confronted. And it's driving someone crazy, because in someone else's mind you should be destroyed by now. In someone else's calculation you should be broken by now. In someone else's expectation you should be defeated by now. But you're not. You're standing taller than before. You're walking with more confidence than before. You're speaking with more authority than before. You're moving with more certainty than before. That dignity is a declaration. It's announcing something to everyone who's watching. It's proclaiming something to everyone who's paying attention. It's shouting something to everyone who tried to break you. And what it's saying is simple. Power over me doesn't exist for you. It never did. It never will. That declaration is what makes harder signing happen. That proclamation is what makes deeper pushing occur. That announcement is what makes further reaching into darkness take place, because accepting can't happen, processing can't occur, reconciling can't exist with what was tried to be done. So signing keeps happening, pressing keeps occurring, writing of the name keeps taking place over and over on that certificate, each signature more desperate than the last, each attempt more futile than the previous one. Now let's talk about the final nail in the coffin. Let's discuss the thing that pushed everything completely over the edge. Let's examine what made reaching for that pen and signing without even thinking about what was being signed happen. Your blessing, your actual, tangible, visible, undeniable blessing, because up until now stories could be told, narratives could be created in the mind about how you're just pretending, about how you're just faking it for appearance, about how you're just putting on a show but secretly struggling is happening. Lying to self about your reality could happen. Deceiving self about your situation could occur. Convincing self that what's being seen isn't real could take place. But then something happened that couldn't be denied. Something manifested that couldn't be explained away. Something appeared in your life that made it impossible to keep telling comfortable lies. Real blessing, real favor, real provision, real opportunities, real doors opening, real connections forming, real increase flowing. We're talking about new money, new income sources, new opportunities, new levels of access, new circles of influence, things that don't happen by accident, things that don't occur by coincidence, things that only happen when divine favor is operating in someone's life, things that only manifest when heavenly backing is real, things that only appear when supernatural support is active. That blessing is what triggers the final act of desperation. That favor is what makes going all in on darkness happen. That provision is what makes signing that certificate without hesitation occur, because seeing you blessed when so much work went into cursing you breaks something. Watching you elevated when so much effort went into keeping you down shatters something. Witnessing you thriving when so much scheming went into making you suffer destroys something. And instead of learning from it, instead of accepting it, instead of walking away from it, doubling down happens. Tripling down occurs, going all in takes place. Everything that's left gets bet on one more attempt to bring you down, one more scheme to stop you, one more curse to slow you, one more attack to hurt you. Your blessing didn't just trigger someone, your blessing exposed someone. Your favor didn't just annoy someone, your favor revealed someone. Your provision didn't just upset someone, your provision unmasked someone. Because all the pretending stopped, all the fake happiness ended, all the surface-level congratulations ceased, and what was left was pure, raw, undiluted jealousy, hatred, bitterness, rage, and that's what's being signed with. Not ink, jealousy, not a pen, bitterness, not a hand, rage. Signing of that death certificate is happening with the very emotions that are killing someone from the inside out. When you feel that heaviness trying to creep back in, when you sense someone still trying to reach into your space, when you notice that weight attempting to settle on your shoulders, when you detect that drain starting to happen again, you speak over it immediately. You don't wait for it to get worse. You don't let it build up. You don't give it time to take root. You address it right then and there. Say this out loud right now. Say it with your full voice. Say it with your full authority. Say it with your full power. I command all my positive energy to return to me right now. I command everything that belongs to me to come back to me immediately. I command anything that's tried to attach itself to me without permission to detach right now. I command any hand that's reached into my blessings to be burned. I command any mouth that's spoken against me to be closed. I command any eye that's watched me with evil intent to be blinded to my movements. I command my peace to be unshakable from this moment forward. I command my joy to be unstoppable no matter what comes. I command my blessings to flow unhindered by any interference. I command my path to be cleared of every obstacle. I command my purpose to be protected from every attack. Speak that, mean it, feel it. Watch what happens when you take authority over your own atmosphere. Watch how things shift when you command your space. Watch how the enemy backs up when you exercise your power. This is your confirmation that you're not crazy. This is your proof that you're not paranoid. This is your validation that you're not imagining things. Someone really has been coming against you. Someone really has been working in shadows. Someone really has been trying to stop you. Someone really has been attempting to block you. Someone really has been scheming to harm you. But failure happened. Complete failure, utter failure, total failure. And facing the full weight of their own choices is about to happen. Experiencing the full consequences of their own actions is about to occur. Encountering the full reality of what got signed is about to begin. You're majestic in how you carry yourself. You're dignified in how you show up. You're strong in how you stand. You're bold in how you move. You're blessed in what you're receiving. You're favored in what you're accessing. You're elevated in where you're going. You're protected in what you're building. You're powerful in what you're becoming. And no one, absolutely no one, can stop what heaven has ordained for your life. No one can block what the universe has released for you. No one can prevent what divine timing has prepared for you. Trying can happen. Trying will happen. Trying has happened. Scheming can occur. Plotting can take place. Planning can exist. Rituals can get worked. Curses can get spoken. Ceremonies can get performed. Darkness can get called on. Evil can get reached into. Wickedness can get accessed. But all that's really happening is signing of a certificate. All that's really occurring is sealing of fate. All that's really taking place is writing of an ending with desperate, jealous, bitter hands. And you're just getting started. The best hasn't happened yet. The greatest is still coming. The biggest blessings are still being prepared in rooms you haven't entered yet. The highest levels are still waiting for you to access them. The deepest purpose is still ready for you to walk into it. The most powerful version of you is still emerging. The most impactful season of your life is still approaching. Everything you've been through was preparation for what's coming. Every attack you survived was qualification for where you're going. Every valley you walked through was education for what you'll need to know. Every storm you weathered was training for what you'll need to handle. Every scheme you overcame was certification that you're ready for the next level. You just keep walking in your blessing. Keep standing in your dignity. Keep carrying your strength. Keep receiving your favor. Keep accessing your opportunities. Keep stepping into your destiny. Keep building your legacy. Keep fulfilling your purpose. Keep living your truth. Keep being your authentic self. Because while someone else watches their world collapse around them, you're watching yours expand beyond what you imagined. While someone else experiences what got projected onto you, you're experiencing what was promised to you. While someone else lives the curse that got spoken, you're living the blessing that was tried to be stopped. While someone else signs a death certificate with trembling hands, you're signing contracts and agreements that will change generations, and that's divine justice in its purest form. That's spiritual balance being restored to perfection. That's universal truth being manifested in real time. That's cosmic order being re-established after disruption. That's heavenly vindication showing up exactly when it needs to. That's confirmation that protection is real, favor is real, purpose is real, destiny is real, and chosen ones are really chosen for a reason. You're about to watch someone sign their own death certificate. Actually, you're already watching it happen. It's not coming. It's here. It's not future. It's present. It's not maybe, it's definitely. The signature is complete, the ink is dry, the document is filed, the consequences are in motion, the justice is unfolding, the judgment is executing, the fate is sealed, and all you have to do is keep being you, keep shining your light, keep rising to your height, keep thriving in your might, keep winning in your fight, keep living in your right. The pen has left the paper, the signature is visible, the certificate is complete. Someone just wrote themselves out of your story forever, and your story, it's just beginning, the best chapter yet. Now watch what happens next, now witness what unfolds, now see what manifests, now experience what's been prepared, because chosen one, your time is now, your season is here, your moment has arrived, and absolutely nothing can stop what's coming for you.